All right, so welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving into something that's got a lot of people talking.
Yeah.
Tesla's first annual sales decline since all the way back in 2011.
Wow.
We've got a really interesting Reddit discussion thread
Okay.
based on an AP News article, so we're going to be looking at both of those today, trying
Yeah.
to figure out what's going on.
Sounds good.
So yeah, let's unpack this, I guess, first, starting with the facts from the AP article.
Okay.
Tesla's sales for 2024 dropped by 1.1%.
Interesting.
Yeah, ending up at 1.79 million vehicles, down from 1.81 million the year before.
And that's even more surprising, I think, considering Tesla's own projections of a 50% annual growth.
Right, quite a difference there.
So-
The article also mentioned that sales did tick up a bit in the last quarter of 2024,
Oh, okay.
which was interesting, possibly because Tesla started offering things like 0% financing and free charging.
Oh, so they were trying to incentivize more sales.
It makes you wonder if they were trying to make up for lost ground.
Yeah, it does raise questions about their internal projections and whether they accurately anticipated the market shifts we're seeing.
Right, and that's something that we saw in the Reddit thread, too.
Oh, okay.
A lot of users were saying, wait a second,
Yeah.
what's going on with this? This wasn't expected.
Especially because, yeah, like you were saying, the electric vehicle market has been growing overall.
Exactly. So it's not like the demand isn't there,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
for electric vehicles.
Yeah. So there must be something else going on.
Right, and that's what we're trying to figure out. And a lot of users in that Reddit thread were pointing to
Yeah.
Elon Musk himself as a factor in this sales decline.
That's an interesting point. Yeah, it brings up that question of how much influence a CEO's personality has on a company's performance.
Right, and especially with a company so closely tied to its founder, like Tesla is with Elon Musk.
Exactly. It's almost like they're synonymous in a lot of ways.
Right, and some users were even calling Tesla cars the new Nazi sled, which highlights the strong negative feelings that some people have about Musk's political views and his online behavior.
Yeah, I've definitely seen some of that online too.
It seems like this is really impacting how some people view the brand.
Yeah, this ties into that larger conversation about brand perception and how it can be shaped by factors beyond just the product itself.
Absolutely.
Like, how much do a CEO's actions and statements actually impact consumer choices, especially in today's world where everything's so interconnected?
Right, like everything someone says is scrutinized and analyzed and, yeah,
Amplified.
amplify, shared.
Yeah, and criticized.
Exactly. So anything that, Elon Musk says or does
Yeah,
can potentially have a ripple effect
absolutely.
on the Tesla brand.
Especially when it comes to something like a car, which is such a big purchase for most people.
Yeah, and a status symbol for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
So there's a lot of thought that goes into it.
Definitely.
And the Reddit thread also had a lot of discussion about Tesla's build quality.
Okay.
Some users felt that the cars felt cheap and not as well made as other luxury brands.
Yeah, perceptions of quality, especially with a luxury vehicle, can be so subjective, though.
Right. What one person sees as a flaw, another person might see as a unique characteristic or something cool.
Exactly.
And that's something that we saw, too, in the thread,
Oh, okay.
that there were plenty of people defending the Model 3,
Right.
saying that it offers great performance and value for the money.
That makes sense.
So it seems like the opinions on Tesla's build quality are all over the map.
Yeah, it just highlights how important it is to consider multiple perspectives, like to avoid making sweeping generalizations.
Right. But it does seem like there's at least some concern out there.
Right, and it would be interesting to see some data on how Tesla's build quality actually compares to its competitors.
Right. Now, the AP article also highlighted another major factor in Tesla's sales decline,
Okay.
and that is competition.
Right.
It looks like they're facing some serious heat from other players in the EV market.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of inevitable as the market matures, right?
Right. And the article mentioned that BYD, a Chinese automaker,
Okay.
saw its EV sales jump by a massive 41% in 2024,
Wow.
actually surpassing Tesla's global EV sales.
Yeah, BYD's rise has been really impressive. They've been aggressively expanding their product lineup, targeting different types of consumers.
Right. Not just in China, but internationally as well.
Exactly.
And it's not just BYD. The article also mentioned that established car manufacturers like
Yeah.
Ford, GM, and Volkswagen are all ramping up their EV offerings.
Definitely. It seems like every major car company is investing heavily in electric vehicles now.
Right. So the EV market is becoming incredibly competitive, which is putting pressure on Tesla to innovate and adapt to maintain its market share.
It's almost like they were the pioneers, but now everyone else is catching up.
Right, and that's kind of what's interesting about this whole situation is that
Mhm.
Tesla is facing these challenges both internally with the brand perception and build quality concerns, but then also externally with the increasing competition from these established and emerging players.
Right, so they're kind of getting squeezed from both sides.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a really complex landscape.
Yeah, and the AP article suggests that one way for Tesla to stay competitive is by introducing a more affordable model.
Oh, okay.
This could help them reach a wider customer base and potentially offset some of the sales decline.
Right, but that also presents a challenge for Tesla because they've built their brand on being this luxury EV maker.
Right.
And offering a more budget-friendly option could potentially dilute that image.
Yeah, it could be tough for them to shed that perception
Yeah.
of being, a premium brand.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like they're in this tough spot, right? They
Yeah.
need to maintain that premium image and those profit margins, but they also need to broaden their appeal to keep up with the competition.
It's a real balancing act. And what's interesting, too, is that Tesla's stock price has actually risen since Trump's reelection,
Oh, that is interesting.
even with the sales decline.
So it seems like investors are looking beyond these immediate numbers, maybe.
Right, it's possible they're looking at Tesla's future potential.
Right, particularly in areas like self-driving technology and artificial intelligence.
Exactly, those areas that could have huge long-term payoffs.
So maybe they're seeing this as a long-term play rather than, just focusing on those immediate sales figures.
Yeah, like they're betting on Tesla's ability to innovate and dominate those emerging markets.
Right, so we have this really intriguing contrast between those declining car sales
Yeah.
and that rising stock price.
Right, a lot of uncertainty swirling around Tesla's future.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to try to unpack a little bit more
Okay,
as we continue our deep dive.
sounds good.
Okay, so we're back and ready to kind of dig a little deeper into those potential paths forward for Tesla that we kind of touched on before.
Yeah, let's start with that idea of Tesla really doubling down on that luxury image.
Okay.
What would that look like?
Well, it seems like they would need to really focus on refining those existing models,
Right.
maybe even introducing new ones that really push the boundaries of luxury and performance.
Right, they could really emphasize exclusivity, craftsmanship,
Yeah.
cutting-edge technology, top-of-the-line materials.
Right, like, even more advanced self-driving features,
Sure.
personalized interiors, maybe even partnerships with other luxury brands.
Oh, interesting.
To kind of really cement that image.
Yeah, create that whole ecosystem of luxury.
But wouldn't that limit their market even more?
Yeah,
Especially with those concerns about build quality that we talked about.
that's a valid concern, I think. To really succeed with that strategy,
Yeah.
they'd need to address those build quality issues head-on
Right.
and really demonstrate that commitment to delivering a truly premium experience
Yeah.
that justifies that high price tag.
Right. It can't just be, perceived as luxury.
Exact-
It has to actually be luxury.
It has to live up to that,
Right.
to that reputation.
It seems like they'd need to be laser focused on exceeding customer expectations at every level
Absolutely.
if they want to compete in that ultra luxury space.
Yeah, and they need to make sure their marketing and branding really aligns with that message of exclusivity
Yeah.
and exceptional quality.
Okay. So that's the luxury route.
Okay.
Now, what about the other end of the spectrum?
Yeah.
Embracing affordability.
Okay.
How could Tesla make that work?
I mean, that's where that more affordable model that the AP article mentioned could
Yeah.
really come into play.
Okay.
Introducing a vehicle that's designed to appeal to a much broader audience.
Right.
With a lower price point, maybe with fewer bells and whistles.
But wouldn't that be a tough sell for a brand
Yeah,
that's really built its reputation on being high-end and exclusive?
it would be a challenge, for
Yeah.
sure. I think they would need to walk that fine line between
Yeah.
offering a compelling value proposition without cheapening their brand.
Right.
It's about making smart choices in terms of features and materials to keep costs down,
Yeah.
but still maintain a certain level of quality and performance.
So maybe they could take some inspiration from brands like Toyota or Honda,
Sure.
who have a reputation for reliability and affordability,
Right.
but still manage to create vehicles that are stylish and enjoyable to drive.
Exactly. It's about finding that sweet spot where value and desirability really intersect.
Yeah.
And I think, even a more affordable Tesla would still benefit from that brand association with
Right.
innovation and technology.
Even if it's not, their most tricked out model,
Yeah,
it'll still have that Tesla cool factor to it.
exactly.
So now the third path, focusing on becoming a tech powerhouse.
Right.
This is where things get really interesting.
Yeah, this is where it gets really futuristic.
All right, so this would be Tesla, leveraging its expertise in areas like self-driving, AI, battery technology,
Right.
to create not just cars, but a whole ecosystem of interconnected products and services.
Yeah, so it becomes less about the car itself
Right.
and more about the technology that powers it and
Yeah.
the experiences it enables.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
So imagine, Tesla developing advanced self-driving systems.
Yeah.
That could be licensed to other automakers.
Right.
Or used in ride-sharing fleets.
Yeah.
Or think about their battery technology powering homes and businesses.
Yeah, the possibilities are really vast.
Yeah, that sounds almost like Tesla transforming into a tech giant,
Yeah.
like a Google or an Apple.
Right, but with a focus on mobility and sustainable energy.
Right, exactly. And that's a strategy that could potentially be very lucrative.
Oh, absolutely.
But it also comes with its own set of challenges.
It does. Well, first of all, they would need to make sure that they are truly at the forefront of these technologies.
Yeah.
The competition in areas like AI and self-driving is fierce.
Right.
You've got companies like Google's Waymo, Apple.
Yeah.
They're all making significant investments.
Right. So they can't afford to just rest on their laurels. They need to keep pushing
Exactly.
and coming up with, new innovations.
Yeah, they need to keep innovating and stay ahead of the curve.
And then there's the question of execution.
Right.
Developing and implementing these complex technologies at scale
Yeah.
is a huge undertaking.
Is.
It requires massive investments and a lot of talent.
Absolutely. It's not just about having these cool ideas.
Yeah.
It's about being able to actually bring them to market.
Right. Effectively and efficiently.
Exactly.
So, as you can see, each of these paths presents its own opportunities and challenges.
Yeah, it's like they're standing at this fork in the road,
Right.
and each path leads to a different destination.
And the decisions that they make in the next, few years
Yeah.
will likely determine not only their own fate,
Right.
but could also shape the future of the automotive industry.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, but it also makes this whole situation even more fascinating.
It does.
Thrilling and full.
What's really interesting to me is that regardless of which path they choose,
Right.
they're going to have to address those fundamental challenges.
Like those brand perception issues that we talked about earlier.
Exactly. They need to find a way to regain that trust of consumers who have maybe been turned off by Elon Musk's actions or those build equality concerns.
Yeah.
Building a sustainable future for the brand requires more than just innovative technology.
Right.
It also requires building strong, positive relationships with those customers.
It sounds like they've got some work to do on the PR front as well.
I think so.
Right.
Yeah, they need to craft a more compelling narrative that resonates with consumers and reassures them that Tesla is committed to quality, customer satisfaction, and building a better future.
Right. And maybe showcase the people behind the technology, like the engineers and the designers who are passionate about building these great cars.
Exactly. Humanize the brand.
Right.
Make it more relatable.
Yeah. People connect with people, not just products.
Absolutely.
So we've explored these three potential paths for Tesla: doubling down on luxury, embracing affordability, or becoming a tech powerhouse.
Right. Three very different paths.
And it seems like they each have their own merits and drawbacks.
They do.
And it's possible that Tesla doesn't have to choose just one.
Right.
Maybe they can find a way to blend these strategies
to
create a multifaceted approach that allows them to appeal to a wider range of consumers while still pushing the boundaries of innovation.
Like a hybrid approach.
Yeah, exactly.
Combining the best elements of each.
It wouldn't be easy.
No.
But it could be the key to Tesla's long-term success.
I think it could be.
It's almost like they're juggling multiple balls in the air.
Yeah, a lot of balls.
Trying to keep them all in motion.
Yeah.
Without dropping any.
A delicate balancing act.
Yeah. So with all of this in mind, what do you think is the most likely scenario? Which path do you see them taking?
It's a tough question.
Yeah.
I think if I had to guess, I'd say they'll probably pursue a combination of those strategies.
Okay.
Blending elements of luxury, affordability, and technological innovation.
Okay.
I think they'll continue to develop those high-end, performance-focused vehicles that push the boundaries.
Right.
But they'll also probably introduce more accessible models to broaden that market reach.
So kind of a best of both worlds approach.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I think they'll absolutely continue to invest in those cutting-edge technologies like self-driving and AI,
Yeah.
with the goal of not just building better cars, but really transforming the way we think about transportation.
So it sounds like they're aiming to be a major player in shaping the future of mobility.
I think that's a fair assessment, yeah.
Yeah, and they definitely have the potential to do that, but
Yeah.
it won't be easy, They'll need to navigate this complex and rapidly evolving landscape,
Yeah.
overcome internal and external challenges, and make some tough decisions along the way.
Lots of tough decisions.
It's a high-stakes game, but it's also a really exciting one to watch.
It is.
I'm curious, what do you think will be the biggest factors determining Tesla's success in the next few years?
I think a lot of it will depend on their ability to execute on their plans.
Okay.
They've got ambitious goals.
Yeah.
It remains to be seen whether they can really deliver on those.
So it's not just about having the ideas, it's about being able to make them a reality.
Exactly. And they'll need to do it while managing their resources effectively.
Right.
Maintaining that strong brand reputation.
Yeah.
And staying ahead of the competition.
That's tall order.
It is, but,
Yeah.
Tesla has a history of defying expectations.
That's true. They have proven time and again
Yeah.
that they're capable of innovation and disruption. Whether they can maintain that momentum in the face of these new challenges remains to be seen.
That's the big question.
It's a story that's still being written. And I, for one, am really excited to see how the next chapter unfolds.
I agree. It's a fascinating case study in business, technology, and the future of transportation.
Yeah.
And it's a story that has the potential to impact all of our lives.
Absolutely. So we've delved into the challenges facing Tesla, explored their potential paths forward, pondered the factors that could determine their success or failure. But what does all this mean for you, the listener?
That's the real question.
Right.
I think the key takeaway here is that we are living in a time of incredible change and innovation.
Yeah.
Especially in the world of transportation, the rise of electric vehicles, self-driving cars, these new mobility solutions. It's transforming the way we move and interact with the world around us.
It's a revolution that's happening right before our eyes.
It is.
And Tesla is right at the center of it, playing a pivotal role in shaping that future.
Whether they ultimately succeed or stumble, I think their story is a reminder that the choices we make today, both as individuals and as a society, they're going to have a profound impact on the world of tomorrow.
Right. So as we move into the final part of our deep dive, we want to leave you with this thought.
Okay.
What role do you want to play in this technological revolution?
Yeah, think about that.
Are you excited about the possibilities? Apprehensive about the challenges? Or are you somewhere in between? It really makes you think, about where we're headed.
Yeah, it's exciting and a little bit scary at the same time.
Right. So as we kind of wrap up our deep dive into Tesla's recent sales decline and their potential paths forward, we wanted to shift gears a bit.
Okay.
And get your take on things.
Oh, good.
We've explored the facts, the challenges, the opportunities, but now we're curious. What stands out to you? If you were advising Elon Musk right now, what would you tell him to prioritize? Winning back, public favor, slashing prices for mass appeal, or maybe just going all in on that ambitious technology like self-driving?
That's a tough one, I think.
Yeah.
Each of those strategies has its own complexities and consequences.
So focusing on public image could definitely help rebuild trust, attract a broader customer base.
Right.
But it might require some pretty big changes in terms of how Elon Musk presents himself.
Yeah.
And how Tesla presents itself to the world.
It's not just about the cars anymore.
Right.
It's about connecting with people, showing that you share their values.
So values like sustainability, responsibility, maybe even a little humility.
Those are definitely important these days, yeah.
Right. Consumers are definitely more discerning now.
Yeah, they want to support companies that they feel good about.
Right now, slashing prices, that could definitely make Tesla more accessible to the average person.
For sure.
But that also risks impacting their profit margins, potentially kind of diminishing that brand image.
Right, it's that balance,
Yeah.
Exclusivity versus accessibility.
Yeah, if Tesla goes down that road,
yeah,
they'd have to do it very carefully.
Right, without losing what makes them special.
Right, maybe they could offer like a more streamlined model.
Yeah.
Fewer bells and whistles.
Yeah, sure, just the essential.
But still a Tesla.
Right. Keep the core DNA there.
Yeah, and then there's the all-in on technology.
Oh, yeah, the big gamble.
Right, self-driving.
Yeah, that's high risk, high reward.
Yeah, could totally revolutionize things.
If they can really make it work.
Right, but long road ahead.
It is. Lots of unknowns.
Yeah, it's a gamble, but,
Yeah,
Tesla's never been afraid of a gamble.
that's true. They've always been pushing the limits.
So we've given you 3 paths,
3 very different paths.
each with their own ups and downs.
Right. Which one do you think is the best?
Yeah, which one are you rooting for? What do you hope they choose? That's what we want to know.
Yeah. Tell us what you think.
Head over to the forum, social media. Let's have a conversation.
It's a conversation that affects all of us,
It does. The future of transportation is being shaped right now.
Yeah, we're all part of it.
So stay curious, stay engaged.
Keep those wheels turning.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, this was a fun one.
We'll see you next time.